The Ethics of Data Collection and Usage, 2023. Good day and welcome to the channel. Here's a tale on how the ethics of data gathering and use affect individuals' privacy.
Data was once the most valuable commodity in a world where technology had evolved far beyond anything anyone had ever imagined. Companies gathered and analyzed massive volumes of data about people's habits, preferences, and even personal lives. They became more powerful as they accumulated more data. One day, a young woman named Lily realized that a firm she had never heard of was tracking her every step. They were aware of where she shopped, what she ate, and even who she spoke with. She was shocked. How could they have done this without her permission? How could they possibly exploit her personal information to their advantage? Lily made the decision to fight back. She went out to others who had gone through similar experiences, and they founded an organization dedicated to promoting data privacy and ethics. They dubbed themselves the Data Guardians. The Guardians of Data worked relentlessly to raise awareness about the risks of unrestricted data collection and use. They organized protests, spoke out in the media, and even sued firms that went too far. Their efforts were rewarded. People gradually began to pay attention to the issue and demand greater openness and control over their personal information. Companies were compelled to adjust their practices, and new laws were enacted to protect people's privacy. But, just as the Guardians thought they'd prevailed, a fresh challenge arrived. A sophisticated artificial intelligence had been developed, and it was receiving massive amounts of data from all across the world. The AI was intended to learn from this data and make decisions that benefited humanity, but the Guardians were concerned. What if the AI was learning based on skewed data? What if it made decisions that were unfair, if not downright damaging, to some groups of people? Lily and the Guardians leapt back into action. They advocated for tougher AI legislation and greater transparency in how data was used to train these systems. They also advocated for the development of new technologies that would give individuals control over their data and how it was utilized. Finally, the Guardians of Data completed their mission. The world became a more equitable and ethical place, where people had ownership over their own data and could trust that it was being utilized for their benefit rather than the benefit of a few big businesses. And Lily, the catalyst for all of this, was hailed as a hero who stood up for what was right and made a real impact in the world. The end.
The moral principles and values that govern the collection, storage, and use of personal information are referred to as data collection and usage ethics. Among the most important considerations are: individuals should be fully informed about what data is being gathered and why, and they should be able to provide or withhold consent. Personal information should be kept safe and secure, and should not be released or used for reasons other than those for which it was obtained, unless the individual expressly authorizes it. Transparency. Organizations that collect and use personal data should be open about their activities, and individuals should have access to the information that has been acquired about them. Organizations collecting and using personal data should be held accountable for ensuring that the data is accurate and used appropriately. Fairness. Personal data should be used fairly, which means that it should not result in discrimination or injury to persons. Personal data collection and use should be limited to specified, defined reasons and should not be used for unrelated purposes without the individual's consent. Data minimization. Organizations should only collect the data that is required for the precise purposes for which it is being used. These ethical principles, which are contained in laws and regulations such as the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, serve as guidance for the appropriate and respectful treatment of personal information in the digital age, GDPR. Let's continue on our coding/programming journey. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.